Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Glassman's World. Dan the Glassman speaking, and we are about to get started here. Gonna make some more mushrooms, mushrooms. So many mushrooms, guys. It is ridiculous. I've been having to make these mushrooms for a while now. I was thinking maybe today we would go through several different styles, different types, different techniques on how to make the mushrooms and show you kind of a few different ways. Basically, starting out with a real simple one color mushroom, pulling a stringer with a one color, getting a stick of colored glass like this here, getting it molten, pulling it to where it comes out into a point like this here, and then you got yourself a stringer. You push the stringer of color into some molten glass, so you get a rod of molten glass. You get this all rounded down, and then you push that in to the rounded tip. It goes in, it hits, goes in like butter, hits the point that isn't molten, and it basically hits like a wall in there. As soon as it hits that spot, the color just spreads out and it forms the mushroom cap. And so that's how the mushrooms are made. You push it in until finally you get the mushroom, the basic mushroom. So that's one color mushroom. There's usually an air pocket in there from pushing the color glass into the clear molten. So then you have to round out the glass and get the air bubble out of there and try not to trap any air if possible, which if you do it right, it is 100% possible. And then forming a loop on top in order to turn it into a pendant for a necklace. And then you can string it up or you can sell them as is. I sell mine for $5 each. I wholesale them 50 for 100. That's without the cord, without the necklaces. Or if you'd like a cord, that's $1 each on each one, so 150 for the 50 of the one color. Then there's a two color mushroom, but basically you use one color, which is like the white, add a little bit of blue to it, something like this, and you come up with a two color pattern, which then you have two colors in there. And that's a very simple technique. Same thing, same shaping and everything with the loop and with rounding it, getting the air bubble out, everything like that. You simply just add a little dot of color. So if you want an orange stem and you want a blue dot, you just put a little bit of blue right on top right there, add it to it, then push that into the clear glass with the blue on the tip, and you got yourself an orange and blue, or with these ones it was white with a little bit of a blue on top of there. So there's several different ways. Um, then you can do the flatback style, which this is a one color, but it's a multicolor. So we do have multicolors, which it looks like it's a bunch of colors, but it's one single color because of how much elements, minerals, and things like that are in there. Sorry about that. It allows for so many different pigments or hues of colors to come out. And then this is a flat back, so you basically flatten the back of the pendant there, add a little bit of color to the back, flatten that into the back, form a loop on top, and you got yourself a flat back pendant. That little bit of color, which is simply just a little tiny dot, little thin layer of colored glass on the back. Everything else is clear, except that little bit of red right there. You look at it through the front, and it looks like it's sitting on just nothing but red glass right there. The way that it magnifies it and shines it. So those are the flat back style. And then there's a technique where you can actually build them up, and you can draw dots onto the cap. And this is a whole different style, a whole different way. I've only done these a couple of times, so I have to try to remember how I actually make them, how they're done. I think I remember. So we can also try to do some of those today. So I figured let's play around. Let's make some fun little mushrooms here. and I'll show you a few different ways, 3 different styles on how to make single color and multicolor mushrooms. I have to make a whole lot of mushrooms right now anyway, so we might as well just keep on making these and busting them out. Alright, and we probably need a new rod, so let's grab some rod here. These are all just scraps here now, pretty much. So let's get rid of all this glass here. We got a lot of scrap glass. We've been using that one. We'll save that until we use it up. But let's make some room here. Look at all this glass I've gone through recently. Alright, and all of this, it doesn't have to be thrown away. Oh, look at that. There's another big old one with the rod on it. Cool. Alright. That way we can have this mostly just all color glass up here. Definitely need to make some green. Let's bring this green in here. I want to use some of that green. I want to use some of this peacock blue. I love this peacock blue. We got to do all the colors anyway, so let's go ahead and just get started here. Alright, so get our glasses on here. Make sure you guys have a good view. I'll turn on my my channel here for the video. That way we can read comments if you guys come through and everything. So I'm just gonna be working today. We're just gonna be working, making a bunch of mushrooms. I almost can't keep up with these orders that are coming through. I basically offered them out at 50 for 100 without the necklace, without the cord, and people are hitting me up on that, which I love. I'm really excited to get this going again, start getting a few of these smaller wholesale accounts going, and also just getting a small independent distributors and jewelers outfitted with some of my glass, so that way when they're making their necklaces, they're putting beads and stuff on it, they're stringing up beads, they'll use some of my mushrooms for the centerpieces or anything, you know. So that's really cool. Alright, so let's get started with the solid color here. So we're going to start with green. So basically you introduce the color rod. And so this color rod is something that I purchased from a glass supplier. And we get color rods. They're sold by the pound, like about $60 a pound for the basic colors. Some of the other colors are extremely expensive, but these ones are about $60 a pound, compared to clear glass, which is about $6 a pound, give or take. And prices may have gone up quite a bit in the last few years. Although today I just read on someone's post, another glassblower's post, that he's noticing prices are actually coming down for all glass supplies and equipment right now. So if that's the case, it may actually be a really good time to get into the glassblowing business and get started making some beads, making some smaller items, things like that. Working your way up to whatever level of glass that you want to get to. Most of the time when I teach people how to blow glass, they're focused on making smoking apparatuses, paraphernalia like that. And I'd like to show them that there's another way, that one of the most sought after items in the world, one of the largest collected items in the world is jewelry. You know, back in the day, it used to be like coins and stamps and jewelry. Jewelry has always been one of those items that people just They always have. Everyone has a piece of jewelry of some sort or another, I believe. You know, most people got necklaces, or they got some sort of bracelets, earrings, some kind of jewelry, right? Some kind of body adornment. All right, we're gonna get the big 4-foot rod out of the case here. So this is 4 feet of glass right here, guys. I gotta measure it out to about even. We're trying to eyeball that and see if we can get that as close to center as possible. We're just gonna flame cut this here. Alright, so every time that I start out with a new rod, I always cut it in half. Sometimes I'll cut it into thirds, into three pieces. So into thirds, and it makes it a little bit lighter and easier to work with. But at the same time, I'm trying to strengthen my arm and my shoulder right now. So I figure I might as well get back into doing the whole 2-foot rod here and just getting used to it and getting my arm used to it again. Alright, so then we just flame cut it like so. Let's check it. Let's see how close we are. And this is how close we got right there. So not too bad, about an inch off. If I would have moved it over to the right side a little bit more, then it would have been perfect. But that's a fun little game I play, just trying to see if I can cut it directly in half just by eyeing it. Alright, so now we got this crazy little point right here. We're going to put that into the flame. We're going to get it molten. We're going to slowly gather it. So as it gets molten, it kind of just builds up into a ball. And then you just heat up the glass that's underneath that, and it'll form and just build up into itself, or gather right there into itself. And then you just get the tip nice and molten here. So this is one of the very first items I ever learned how to make, is making these mushrooms, and still to this day, 30 years later, basically, well, 29 years, almost 30 years. Next summer will be 30 years officially that I've been blowing glass. So for basically 30 years, I've been making these, and they've been selling. I've been keeping them at $5 retail ever since I started making them. I know some people have sold them for $7, some people have sold them for $10, $12. I've always tried to keep them extremely affordable. And then I do buy one, get one free deals and all kinds of stuff like that too. Alright, then you just get that dead center, directly in the center there. That's the trick, is keeping it in the center, spinning your clear glass. When you got a 2-foot rod, it's really hard to balance that in your left arm while you're pushing that in with your more prominent with your right arm. Alright, now we're going to melt the air bubble out. I'm going to bring the heat up just a little bit more here. Just bring up the flame a little bit more, a little bit tighter, a little bit higher oxygen. Just try to speed up the process just slightly, making sure not to have it too hot to where I boil or bubble the clear glass or any of the glass. You don't want to boil any of the glass. You don't want to overheat it. But if you constantly spin, then you won't hold that flame in any one spot for too long. So it shouldn't ever bubble or boil like that. Just got to know what you're doing. All right, then we get that air bubble out of there. Get that bottom all nice and melted. And these days, I put a lot more time and energy and effort into making these. A long time ago, I would bust them out fairly quickly. I wouldn't worry too much about the loops and stuff. Now I try to perfect them each and every time. So anyone who makes mushrooms, they got to really bring their game up in order to have a really nice $5 mushroom compared to mine, compared to Gardenia glass mushrooms. The only other thing really would be to just make yours a little bit bigger to up the game. But these are pretty big. These are at least like an inch and a half tall. And I always try to make sure that I have it facing in the proper direction so you get the best kind of angle, at least the best angle for me. When I'm spinning it around, I'm trying to figure out, okay, this is going to be the front, and I pull it that way. So now that's the front right there. So I'm always looking at what's the best view, the best option or angle for each one that I make. So I really do take a lot of time and energy and consideration into each one of these, even though they're just my little $5 simple mushrooms. These are the ones that we do for gift and card all day, every day. Gardenia glass mushrooms, gift and card. Gift and card basically is where you buy a gift and then you get a $7 card, handmade greeting card. That's made by my wife, and you get those, a $7 card. You purchase a gift, you get a card for $5. So basically you get a $5 mushroom like this, you get a $5 card. That's $10 for a gift and a card. So that's what we've been doing and offering. I've been working on the website, but at the same time, the website's, I'm going to have to be updating it like all the time and daily. I'm going to have to get to a point where like my wife and I are going to be working on like some sort of a schedule and like being like, okay, right now we got to post these up. Whatever cards you have made since yesterday, let me see them. We'll post them up, have them available. Because they're all handmade, one of a kind, individual. So you kind of have to like figure out which one they want specifically. But she is making them pretty, she's replicating a lot of them now. So she's got, several that all look the same. But they're still individual, one of a kind. They're all unique. The other option I was thinking would be to just make copies, print her handmade cards, and then have those available for like $2 to $3, $3, 2 for $5, something like that. So then we can have the printed version, and we can have the same cards like that, where you can just choose. And maybe that's what we should do online for gift and card. I don't know. I'm still thinking about how we're gonna strategically set that up online without having to put too much work, energy, and effort into it. And then at the same time, I have Gardenia glass up, the drop of water, a lot of different jewelry and stuff on my Square site, which is set up as gift and card. And that's set up in a really simple way where you can just choose, green mushroom, buy five for 20, I believe right now I'm offering what is 25 for, I forgot what I did it for. Like, what was the deal? I forgot. Alright, so thanks for tuning in and watching. So I'm just working here making a bunch of mushrooms. Just making mushrooms here. So I got these available at 50 in bulk. You can order them with the cord or without the cord. Either 100 or 150 depending on with the cord or without. And I've been selling bulks of 50 just left and right over here, trying to keep up with them. So I'm almost unable to keep up, but I'm doing my best here. There's another individual who's going to be hitting me up this week, and it's already Tuesday. I'm like, all right, I got to make another 50 or 100 of them. Because as soon as those are gone, then I'm going to need another 50 ready to go. But like I said, we're going to make some of these, and then we're going to make some other ones as well to show you guys different versions, different varieties, different styles of how these mushrooms are made here. So this is going to be a little bit of a tutorial, a little demonstration, as well as me just working and making a whole bunch of inventory right now. Right now I'm just working on some green ones here. I figured I'd just bust out like 5 of them real quick. Let's see how fast I can make 5 of these here. You should see how long it takes to make one. If you got your stopwatch, get it out, get it ready, so you can start timing me. Let's see what this timer is here. I'll just use the video later, and that'll be the truth right there, and we'll be able to see from what time I start and what time I finish completely. So let me finish this one up, and then let's see how fast I can make the next one here. I see we're 22 minutes in, so at about 25 minutes, we'll probably start the next one here. So as I spin it, I'm looking, I'm like, okay, right there looks pretty good as the front. I lock it in by pulling that forward, and then I know that's the front. And then I loop this around to the back. I don't know if other glass blowers spend the time and energy and effort looking at their mushrooms, each one like that. Especially just like the single color, one color, simple $5 ones. I know a lot of people are just mass producing. There's boom, 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 just making them, you know. At the same time, too, you know, a mushroom, it looks pretty good in all angles all the way around. I tend to spend a little bit of time to just look and be like, yeah, I think I like that side to be forward. That's all. And usually when you look at them straight on like that, they look pretty good. Alright, so it's Tuesday, guys. Taco Tuesday. I don't know if you guys eat tacos every Tuesday or every day. We eat tacos religiously here. Religiously as meaning like habitual. The things we always do, the rituals and the habituals. Taco Tuesday. Ritual de lo habitual. Alright, you ready? Let's wait for this to get to 25 minutes. It's at 24 right now. As soon as it clicks over to 25, I'll get started here. We'll put it in the flame. There you go, 25. All right, let's see how long this takes, guys. The fastest I've gotten these done was 2 of them in under 5 minutes. I think the quickest timing was like 2 minutes and 17 seconds on one of them. On that one, at this point, I would be pushing it in, but I'm going to make sure I have a nice rounded bottom here. Not rushing this. We're not trying to beat the world record or anything today. Just seeing how long do these take normally. Always melt the tip of the color glass to help spread it out. All right, we're already at least 1 minute in because I see it went from 25 to 26. Also, when I made that record, I was making these on a 12.75 millimeter, not the 16 millimeter. So 16 millimeter takes a little bit longer to actually melt down and to get that heat to penetrate into the center there. All right, so 26, 27, that's 2 minutes in right there. We're almost at 3 minutes. There's 3 minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 3 minutes and 10 seconds, guys. So these ones are taking maybe about a minute longer than my record. But yeah. So 3 minutes and 10 seconds. I could probably quicken that a little bit. I've been running my cord over here. Been snagging on the glass and having issues. Let me move this out of the way. Make sure my cable's not in the way. Alright, here we go. Start your timer. Let's do this. Alright, I can't time it now because we're at 28 minutes and a few seconds in. I don't know what the seconds are, so. You guys, hopefully you got the timers going, stopwatches going. Let's see if I can get this a little bit quicker. This one's filling a little bit faster here. a little bit smoother on that push. The other one felt like it came out a little bit crooked, but it still looks good. I was still able to find the right angle to look at it in the front. So even though it was pushed a little bit crooked, looking at it like head on, you can't really tell. That's the cool thing about it, is that if it's pushed a little crooked, that means it's either closer to one side or the other, which is going to give it a big magnification if you have it set in a way to see it from the furthest part back. So I don't know if anyone can beat that record, any other glass artist. I think it's 2 minutes and 17. It could be 2:19, but I believe it's 2:17 is my record on how fast I can make one of these on a 12.75 millimeter milliliter on a millimeter rod. And I don't remember if I had the color rod already pulled or not for that record there. Hey, what's going on, Scooby-Roo? Thanks for tuning in. I'm glad you're here. I was actually going to let everyone know that I believe I'm going to be shipping today or tomorrow. I don't have any yard work or anything today. Got a little bit of time, so I can probably make it to the post office before they close today. So I think I got all your stuff together. And there's a few others that I know I got everyone's stuff together. So I got the extra funds. We got through the Thanksgiving holidays and everything, and so now I can afford to get those out, and which is perfect, just in time for Christmas. And then also, I'm hoping to do the 12 Days of Christmas thing, or the White Elephant thing, or I don't know exactly what we're gonna do. I still haven't really figured it out. Because if we do a White Elephant thing, and I'm gonna be supplying all the gifts, I'm thinking, well, maybe we just have everyone do a buy-in if they want to participate, and they can just purchase we can keep it limited, like $10 gifts or $20 gifts, something like that. Yeah, I know everyone has been wondering. I'm so sorry about my delays. Funds have been low. We had a lot of snow days that hit us, and it wasn't like we had a lot of snow. We just had them snow days and them cold days that delayed a lot of my work, doing yard work and stuff like that. So I didn't have a lot of the funds coming in. I lost close to $1,000, and I was really in the hole. I was like, oh my gosh. While I'm giving away all this glass, I'm giving away hundreds of dollars in glass, and I just lost close to $1,000 in work. This is fun. And it's Thanksgiving holidays, but we made it through. We made all kinds of awesome pumpkin pies. I don't know if I think you actually joined me for the Thanksgiving dinner, but I wasn't able to read the comments. That was the sad thing, is I didn't have the computer set up to read the comments, and I can't read on my phone. But I appreciate all the comments. You were saying how that was a lot of oil for the eggs. That's how I make my eggs. That's how I was taught. My wife always gives me a hard time about that. I'm like, that's how I make them. I don't know. That's just how I know how to get them to be over easy and get them to just flip over real easy. But we use good oil. So it's either olive oil or coconut oil or ghee, or the blend of the three all mixed in. So it's good fat, it's good oils, healthy oils. So that's a good thing. It's not like we're cooking it on a bunch of Crisco, or a bunch of vegetable oil or canola oil or anything like that. It's really good, healthy oils. Coconut, olive oil, or ghee. It's one of those three. Your stomach turned. That's how I was taught to fry my eggs over easy, so you could just flip them over. We'd make them in a pan where, we would just cook the bacon and all the grease that was left over from the bacon, and you just cook the eggs in the bacon grease. So one thing about cholesterol is good cholesterol helps us with our vitamin D levels, and it helps us to fight off a lot of sicknesses, including cancers. And so we need to have cholesterol. Our brains, I believe, are made up of mostly cholesterol, I believe. We need to have good cholesterol, good oils. We've been taught to stay away from cholesterol, high cholesterol, and things like that. But in the reality of it, you do want to get your good ghee, your beef tallow, coconut oil, hemp seed oil, things like that. And definitely don't want to be using any of the margarine or the vegetable oil, the Crisco's, things like that. You use one tablespoon of butter. Well, see, that's exactly 1 tablespoon of butter. That's good for each egg. Or just like you just put in 1 tablespoon and then you just start picking up the egg. Because by the time I'm like on my 3rd or 4th egg, all of that. See, I use ghee instead of butter because my wife can do the milk fat. So we clarify the butter, we cook it down and render it into ghee. So yeah, there's several tablespoons. You will never convince me. Oh yeah, and no, I'm not trying to convince anyone, but I've learned recently that we definitely need to have cholesterol for our body and for our health to help with the vitamin D and with fighting off different sicknesses. I can send you the information of a video from a doctor that I was listening to, and he was talking about like upping your intake on vitamin D, really to help with a management of the cholesterol as well. And then cholesterol also helps with our natural oils and things like that in our skins and in our hairs, so we don't dry out too much as well. But you gotta definitely stay away from the bad, what is it? The saturated or polysaturated fat. You want the monosaturated, or I don't know. You want the good fats. You want ghee. Ghee is one of the best. Besides butter, over butter. Ghee is definitely better than butter. Beef tallow is better. So it goes like ghee, then beef tallow, and then I think it's coconut oil, and then maybe regular butter, and then you go into like olive oil. I was surprised that olive oil actually isn't as good for you. I was like, what? That's crazy. All right, so I just made 5 of the solid color green ones. So basically, I was just using up the stringer here, and now I want to show you a single color, but using a single color that has kind of like multicolor. This is a multicolor one here. Oh, you're vitamin D deficient, and then you've been keeping your cholesterol levels low. It's one thing that I'm learning is that we've been to keep our cholesterol low, keep it low, take some margarine, do all these other things, and but they got us away from the natural, good cholesterol. You know, there's good things and there's bad things and all, right? Like good sugars, bad sugars, you know, you got the bleach, the white bleach sugars, and then you got the raw, pure cane sugars, right? There's a huge difference in those, right? And then you got like the sugars that come from like agave syrup, maple syrup, honey, those types of syrups, those kinds of fructose. or sucrose. So there's, they've been teaching us a lot of these things for a while, and then you wonder why there's like, they've been pushing this whole low cholesterol thing since the 70s. But then what's also come up on the rise is a lot of cancers and stuff like that. So it just, I don't know, it seems coincidental, and I'm not trying to say that it is that or this or that because I can't say anything 100%. Just I've listened to a doctor, and I can send in information on what he's talking about. So I'm just relaying the information that he's talking about. Nothing that I know because I'm just a glass blower. And I don't want to get hit with any sort of medical misinformation. So anything that I say is just what I've, it's hearsay. That's all it is. Hearsay. Oh, we're the same age then. Or, am I 40? How old am I? I was born in 76. Were you born in 75? I'm February 76. So we're the same. Oh, so are you a Scorpio? October? It's either that or Virgo. Okay, so you're at the end, towards the end. My father is also a Scorpio, towards the end of the month. Right on. AI overview, learn more good fats. When it comes to cholesterol and triglycerides are considered to be monosaturated fats and polysaturated fats, which are primarily found in plant-based. Okay, so those are the good fats. But butter is from milk. Butter is from a cow. And ghee is from a cow. And then beef tallow. The beef tallow comes from the cow. The cow is sacred in India. The Brahma cow, right? Very sacred. It's interesting. It's the cow that brings us all the good fat. And that's why doing milk, doing butter, doing yogurt, doing cheese is actually healthy, but not with all of the other things that they then add to it, like the RGB, bovine growth hormone stuff, and the rennet that's within the cheese, and all the different things they put in it. But if you learn to make your own, the getting back to nature. I have like somewhat of like a blog. It's a page on Facebook called Back to Nature where I promote how to get back to nature, eating more naturally, trying to collect seeds from organic fruits, natural produce, and then replanting them, how to make your own compost, like all that kind of stuff. So I'm all about the natural ways, and I'm all about like sharing what's good for us, for our health, for our mind, our body, our spirit, for all of that. Getting back to nature is something I've been doing for, gosh, I don't even know when I started that page. At least since 2012, even longer than that. Low-fat dairy, 1% milk, huh? That's interesting. That doctor, see, I don't trust doctors. When you go in for doctors, like, I think that we're just basically guinea pigs, and they're just testing to see, oh, what does this do? And what does this do? Well, let's just give them the bare minimum. They don't tell you, go home and eat a bunch of greens. Make sure that you get a bunch of kale, bok choy, chard, get a bunch of greens in, start doing smoothies, maybe do a little exercise. Dude, like, they don't tell you that. They just like, Cut out the fats because that's what we've been told. Do this and do that because that's what the medical journals tell us to do. They're all just a bunch of they just follow each other too. And then they're like, oh no, 20 years later, like, oh, I guess we were wrong. Then finding out that margarine isn't so healthy for you compared to just butter, right? But they get you to get away from the good fat, the whole fat. They want you to go non-fat, but it's the fats that are actually what's helping you. I think it's the lipids that's within it that helps. The lipids. The lipids and the nanolipids. If you eat for cholesterol, you're eating wrong for something else. If you eat right for something else and it's wrong for something, yeah. And so that's why I've learned about Ayurvedic. Food is thy medicine. Ayurvedic meals, Ayurveda, where you learn about what are good fats, good oils, mixing complex carbs and proteins together. So you get the complete complex carbs and proteins, the amino acids. You get it all through the foods. And so I try to like really share that with everyone else. It's why I do the whole cooking with the glass man thing. And yeah, Thanksgiving was something a little bit different, but usually cooking with the glass man is pretty healthy and a little bit more different and experimental. Just giving you an alternative to what we're used to, So I try to do that with Cooking with the Glass Man here. And that also started on Facebook as basically a page, like its own little blog, where I share different recipes and things like that over there. Teaching people about filtration with water and stuff like that too. Because if you don't have good, clean water to cook with, then that's gross. I don't use tap water. We always filtering our water. We make sure we have at least 2 gallons of filtered water in our Berkey filter all the time, constantly. Those eggs, though, oh my God. But it's not like we're pouring out all that oil with it. I'm using a spatula that's slotted, right? So all that oil does drip out. It does drip out. And when I'm grabbing it, I'm tilting it to the side, so all of the oil is dripping off of the spatula too, I swear. If you use a Brita, try out the zero water. The zero water I heard is even more amazing. It can clear, like it can make Kool-Aid turn clear again. I saw the oil on that plate. Yeah, but it's good and it's healthy. Good cholesterol. No, I don't. I don't ever see. I'm all about also teaching about the 4 agreements, and one of those is never taking anything personal. And back in the day, I had this saying where I was like, "Don't take it personal, bit," and then I'd say something really harsh, and then you're like, "Whoa!" It's like I'm trying to teach you, don't take it personal, bit. And that was a saying that I had for a while. I quit saying it because it's a little harsh. But it's a cool saying, yeah. Don't take it personal, mother effer. So yeah, the 4 agreements, right? Keep an impeccable word. Always do your best. Never make assumptions, and take nothing personal. And if you live through the 4 agreements, through all circumstances, all situations, you pretty much come out on top every time. If you put the egg oil through what kind of a filter? Through a car filter? I'll drink that oil right off the pan. Add a little butter. Oh wait, no, it's already got ghee. No, I wouldn't. That'd be weird. Alright, so these here are the single color, but they're multicolored because this is like an amber purple. So I just want to make a few of these here. And then we'll do the ones with the OMG, no. Any filter. They just see if they call it like a coffee filter, or just pour it through and see if it clogs it up. No, it'll actually run through it. I've had to make ganja oil with olive oil, and I've used coffee filters to make it all nice and filtered, all nice and clean. It takes a long time to get it through, but it gets through. I prefer to just do the cheesecloth, and then there'll be a little bit of sediment on the bottom of the bottle, and that's fine. It's not bad. Just a little bit of plant material. I've taken tablespoons of just hemp oil, straight up. I've taken coconut oil. You know, just a whole tablespoon of coconut oil, put in your mouth, and then you swish it around. It's called oil pulling. So I've done that before. Oil pulling is really good for you. If you do it in the morning on an empty stomach, before you drink water, before you get your stomach acids going from eating or drinking anything, and you just do that, it will detoxify you and help to cleanse you. It pulls things out through your gums and everything, which I haven't done in a really long time. It's kind of hard to just always do it all the time and remember to do it. But oil pulling, it's hard to also get into, and you want to swish it around for 20 minutes. That's the hardest thing to do. It goes from like, you know, a solid, then it goes into a liquid, and then it starts to like pull because it's oil pulling. So oil, I don't know if you've ever noticed, but if you ever like spill oil on something and you go to wipe it up, that surface area is like really, really clean. It's because oil can actually like pull dirt and things like that. It actually helps to clean. And so when you're using it for detoxing and stuff like that, it'll start to pull that stuff out from your gums, from your body, and then that oil goes from like that solid to a liquid to like then you start like getting that yucky. Then at that point you just got to keep going for 15 to 20 minutes, let it do its job, let it pull, and then you just spit it out, and then you just rinse your mouth, brush your teeth, and call it a day. Coconut oil, cold pressed, unrefined, cold pressed. It's got to be the virgin olive oil. Sorry, coconut oil. You can use sesame seed oil as well. Coconut oil, I think, is better, but sesame seed oil is really good, and avocado oil as well. Yeah, there's a lot of things like that are homeopathic, like taking a shot of straight up apple cider vinegar in the morning on an empty stomach. It will cleanse you. It'll reset your body. It'll reset your immune system. It'll get you going again. Um, I need to start doing it a lot more often because I read recently that it also um, removes or gets rid of your sugar cravings. And I'm like, man, I've been craving sugar a lot. I just want pumpkin pie, cherry pie that my wife made. Man, that was so good. She crisscrossed the applesauce. No, she crisscrossed the pie crust on top. She made a lattice pie, cherry pie. It was so amazing. Oh, you can't even do the CBD oil, huh? Is it the oil or the tinctures? Because the tincture, the alcohol, those ones they burn. You put those under your tongue. But then there's some that are made with just like the what is it called? The I know you said the CBD, but they make it with a certain oil. I'm gonna say HTC, but it's not HTC. It's I forget. I forget what it is. They extract it into it. MCT? Maybe it's the MCT. MCT oil. So these ones here are a single color, but they look like they're multicolored. So I just do these the same, but it gives it a little bit of a variation when you add some of these into the variety of the 50 bulk order, 50 for 100, or if you get them on necklaces, the 50 for 150. So I'm trying to just bust out another 50 of these here today. Make as many as I can. We've been going for an hour now. I think now that we're on the hour mark here, let's get away from the mass production here. Maybe I'll make another 2 more after this just to finish up the 5, so at least keep the numbers even here. And then I want to get into making the special mushroom that has the dots on top. Oh, it's the texture that gets you, huh? You don't like pie. You don't like the crust of the pie, but you like the filling. I would think the filling would be like too like gooey or gummy, and that would be the texture part that would be weird. That's interesting. I would think it'd be the opposite way. Oh dang! Anything. So you don't cook anything in oil, huh? But then, what sort of oils? Like, are you talking vegetable oils, or are you like have you actually cooked with coconut oil before and left it on? I love the way coconut oil is. Like when I make my taco shells have to be like in deep oil like that. You gotta deep fry them, and I love cooking the corn tortillas in coconut oil. There's something about that flavor that makes the tacos like I don't know. I've been told I make some of the best tacos in the world, even ones that are vegetarian. It's like really, like that's pretty awesome coming from a meat eater. Oh, you don't like cheese melted because it's too gooey, man. So you can't do nachos. But what about like the shredded cheese like on a taco when it's not melted? Although authentic tacos don't actually come with any cheese. In Mexico, they don't do cheese. It's American style tacos. That's like Taco Bell style tacos with the shredded cheddar cheese. If they do cheese in Mexico, it's like the cojita, or the like. It's like the white cheese, like goat cheese almost like a feta, a crumbly goat cheese almost. It's really good. What is it, manteca? I might be saying something completely wrong. Manteca might be the oil, like the crystal. Oh, you can eat just chunks of it like cheese and crackers. It does get oily when it melts. Yeah, that's the milk fat, the milk oil. So you probably like the more harder cheese that don't have all the oils in them. So you're a meatitarian, a carnivore. You're carnivorous. I try to be just a pescatarian and only eat fish and chicken from time to time. I guess I eat the fowl as well. But I try not to eat too much beef. Although I'm learning that beef tallow and beef fat are healthy for you. So I've been trying to take it in, but at the same time, it's kind of wrong for me to be doing so because of Krishna consciousness. But I try to take in as much milk and butter and yogurt and ghee as I can instead. So it's better that way. And also right now I've been having an issue with my weight. A lot of people have issues gaining weight. I'm having issues keeping my weight on right now. I think I ride my bike so often. I'm always so active doing yard work, always constantly working. Sometimes I forget to eat breakfast, like right now. Oh no, I did. I had some oatmeal. But sometimes I forget to eat until the afternoon. So I basically have been fasting and getting my body used to this fasting, but I'm also like depleting my nourishment, I guess. Not eating enough and keeping my weight on. So I've dropped like, I think close to 20 pounds recently. And I've been doing my best to like do this all you can eat diet where I just eat all I can eat in one day. It's like, it don't matter. Just eat, keep on eating. But I guess my metabolism's so high. And because I'm constantly just working out in the yards and doing yard work and riding my bike and walking and always just being active, that I haven't really been able to bring it up that much. I thought it was going up. I thought it went up like really quickly. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm on my way. And then I checked it the other day and it was like back down. I'm like, wait a minute. I thought I was going up. Now I'm going down again. So I got to do my best to eat all the cholesterol, make my eggs as oily as possible. Drink that oil right out the pan. Put it in a smoothie with some bacon. And some ice cream. And throw in a cupcake just for fun. With the McDonald's, no, nothing from McDonald's ever. That's probably my problem. If I went to McDonald's, I guarantee you I'd put some weight on. Exactly. See, McDonald's will fatten you up, right? I'm loving it. Nah, I can't stand McDonald's. I can't stand the smell of it. I don't like the smell of roasted coffee either. Go by those places like Starbucks or wherever, all the local mom and pop shops, and they're always roasting their beans. And it's like, ew, you're burning your beans. Can't stand it. I can't stand the smell nor the taste. I don't drink coffee. There was a time when I was working on set. I used to be a movie extra. I hope to get back into it eventually here once we get our vehicle running again. I can make it to set. Um, there was a time when it was like the middle of winter. It was cold, and they had coffee all the time, nice hot warm coffee, and they were out of water, but they had cocoa packets. And I was like, well, I might as well just put my cocoa packet in the coffee. And then I kind of got hooked on a what is that called? Like a mocha a mocha latte, or I don't know. It's just a chocolate coffee with a lot of milk, a lot of creamers, a lot of sugar. But I kind of got hooked on coffee for a minute while I was doing that. And then after I left the set, and I was like craving it. Like after that, I was like, what? So then I started making coffee at work. This was during a time when I got employed at a place called Zentel. No, Cento. That was another place I worked for, Zentel. But Cento, they had like direct TV and RX prescriptions and lens crafters and a bunch of other different like customer service reps in one building. And we were, I got trained to be a customer service rep for direct TV. I'd go into work in a suit and a tie, just playing the part for fun. But I was blowing glass. Like I was still just blowing glass. I didn't care whether or not I got fired. I didn't care if I just walked off the job like that day. Like it was something that I just did just because I kind of wanted to get away from just being in the studio alone by myself all the time. So I was like, yeah, whatever. It's a guaranteed paycheck. They're gonna give me some benefits. I get free direct TV. All right. And then they wanted to hire me as their team lead, and it went from hourly with bonuses to a salary, just a set salary, and you don't even get any sort of bonuses or nothing at that point. Like, no, I'm good. I'm good. Then I gotta babysit a whole team. No, I like my position here, doing nothing. It wasn't doing nothing. I was actually really good at what I did with customer service. Hello, this is DirecTV. This is Dan the Glassman. How may I help you today? Oh, I'm so sorry that you're not able to watch your football game today, sir. Let me see what I can do to help you out. We're just going to go through a couple steps real quick, if you don't mind. And if we get through these steps, I'll get you a customer service tech out there as soon as possible. But we may be able to get your game on quicker than I can get that tech out to you. So let's go through these steps real fast, sir, if you don't. And let's make this happen. And then I'll be like, oh, I don't want to get up. I don't want to unplug nothing. Just send me a text, man. I need my game on. It's like, I told you, the techs are busy right now. You think you're the only one who's lost their game, sir? I'm telling you, we might be able to get the game on a lot quicker than they can get there, man. We might not be able to get them out till tomorrow or even later on this week. So go through these steps with me real quick, sir. I promise it won't take longer than 10 or 15 minutes, and I'll have you on your way. I used to be pretty good at what I did. And then there'd be some people like, I can't get up with it. It's like, oh, okay, well, We'll just put you down as that you're disabled and unable and you don't have anyone there to help you. And we'll get someone out to you, sir, right away. Sorry about the inconvenience. I'm sorry I can't get the game on for you. Thank you for choosing DirecTV. Have a nice day. Just kidding. You wouldn't hang up. You'd ask him, is there anything else you could do? And blah, blah, blah. He followed the script, but I was so good I didn't really need the script too much. A couple steps that never work, and a week later the text shows up. You know exactly how it works. Although, that's not true. There were some times where you would just have to reset the box, just unplug it, plug it back in, and bam. Sometimes those boxes, because electronics glitch from time to time, sometimes they overheat. You got to let them cool down a little bit, turn them back on, they work again. But then that means you may have a faulty box, and we may still need to send a tech out to check the box and things like that, or just replace the box, you know. But we may be able to get it up and running in that moment instead of waiting that week. So I was pretty good at what I did. I was really good at what I did, actually. My father was an electrician. Growing up, he taught me how to hook up all the audio, all the video games, the cable TV, all the different coaxials, RCA. Now they got the new ones with the composite cables, S videos and things like that. Yeah, any normal person is going to try all those steps before calling you. Not necessarily. There's a lot of people who they don't even get up off their couch. You know, they don't even want to get up. They're like, I am not walking over there 2 feet over to the wall to unplug and plug this thing back in. What do you mean? I turned it on, I turned it off. Like, no, sir, you don't understand. The box needs to actually be reset with the hard reset of unplugging and replugging it in. Electronic devices just sometimes work in that way for some reason, sir. Ma'am. Sir, ma'am. Ma'am, sir. Him, herm. Herm, him, herm, herm. Nowadays, it'd be so hard. Excuse me, yous. Hello, yous. What'd you call me? I'm not a ma'am. I'm not a sir. I am a tabletop. Oh, sorry, tabletop. Let me help you out here. If you don't mind, tabletop, just go on over to the wall. Reach on over behind your console there and unplug it if you can, tabletop. All right, here goes the 5th one here, and then we're going to get started on another special one. 72 minutes in. Yeah, you may be smarter than the average bear. Hey, boo-boo, how's about a picnic basket? I don't know, Yogi. The ranger's going to come and get it from us again, and then he's going to eat it. Oh, I don't know, boo-boo. I'm going to tear him up this time and eat him. We're going to put him in the picnic basket, and we'll have him for dinner. Why didn't that ever happen? I don't know if that's a good idea. Oh, I'm silly. Identify as a toilet. Oh. But are you the self-flushing kind? Are you a heated, seated kind? Because there's all kinds of toilets. Are you more urinal? Are you more bucket seat? That'd be crazy if they made bucket seats for toilets. Race car seats. Oh, that's good, sir. I'm about to. Oh, that's great. All right, so now we're gonna do a two-color style. So the two-color, what I'd like to do really is use the caramel. The boudet. It's actually bidet, B-I-D-E-T, like bidet, bidet. A boudet. I like that though. I like that. Do you got yourself a boudet? One of them boudet sprayers for your boudet? I like that. I don't know, boo boo. Yeah, have a boo day for you. Is it your boo day today, boo boo? Alright, so pulling out this either caramel or butterscotch. It's got a label on it still, so I'll be able to tell you specifically. This one is butterscotch. It's a North Star color. I normally get my colors from North Star or Glass Alchemy. So this is one of the original colors that I've ever worked with starting back in the 90s, 95. That is the butterscotch. We add a dark bit of blue to it. So we'll get this bit of cobalt 4 right here. We're going to add a little dot to the tip of this, and this is how I make my two-color mushrooms. So we just did a one color that's going to have a bunch of multicolor in there. Now this is the trick on how I get two-color mushrooms, where I get a little ring of color going around the mushroom cap, where it's a little bit different than the rest of the mushroom cap and the rest of the stem. So now there's a little bit of the blue on the tip right there, and I don't know if you see that. Sorry, I got to move it over in front of the camera. Sorry about that. Like way over in the wrong place there. Am I still in the wrong place? I'm like, where are we? There we are. A little bit of blue on the tip there. And this is real skinny, like, I don't know, 1 millimeter, 1.5. And we're going to just force that in, and that blue is going to spread out. So that's how I make my two-color. And the two-color ones I sell for $10 each, which, like I was saying, there's a lot of glass blowers who started selling their one-color, their single-color ones for $7 to $10. My two-color ones are now $10, which competes with their single-color ones. And basically, it either gives you the option on purchasing a nice $10 one, or you can save some money and go with the $5 one. So these are done exactly the same. There's a little bit of color on there. It's now solidified with the butterscotch. So we're basically going to do the same thing and just push it right in. We're going to heat up that tip just a little bit so we can get that blue to just spread out some in there. A little bit easier. Get to the center, push it in, make sure you're centered. Slowly just push it. If it starts going crooked on you, you can try to like move it over and balance it. So now we got the cobalt cap wrapped around this one here. We just get the air bubble out of here. So I wanted to do a tutorial kind of here while I'm making a bunch, mass producing these, getting a whole production line going, trying to make another 50 of these by the end of the day. I'm not going to do all 50 right here with you. That'll take a long time, and I don't want to run this video too long. But right now we're going to do the two-color mushroom, And then we're going to jump into a very special kind. So if you stuck around this long, you're about to see something new, something different. Like I said, I've been blowing glass since 1995. Been working glass for 29 years, almost 30 years now. And in my 29th year, just this year, I learned how to make these for the first time ever. So I want to show you my version, my style, and watch several others on how they make theirs. And theirs has a lot of air bubbles. They build it up. It's a little bit longer compared to how I make mine. And so I'd like to show you this style right here. So we're just going to finish this one up real quick. Yeah, something new would be fun. And it's just the same thing. It's just mushrooms, mushrooms, and more mushrooms. But this is a little bit different. And I'll show you again what we're going to do here. So these ones, let me finish this up. And then I'll pick up one here. And it'll look quite similar to one that I have on the table. That's got the butterscotch stem with the cobalt cap. We actually have one of these in our giveaway pile from October. I still have the glass out because there's several individuals who still need to choose their prizes. I still have yet to find out everyone's prizes. That might take a while. I didn't realize that would be a difficulty in getting people to reply back to me on the videos when they were selected and where they were winners. But that's all right. It'll take as long as it takes, and I'll get them out whenever they claim them. There'll be no limit on the claim, you know, unless I quit blowing glass. Then sorry and good luck to you. But I don't know if there's ever going to be a time that I quit blowing glass unless for some reason, physically or mentally or my health doesn't allow me to do so anymore. But I can see myself going till, I don't know, another 30 years till I'm 80. Would that be crazy? Holy, until I'm like 78, 79 years old. I'll be an old fogey all over here. Hey, Sonny boy, let me show you how I make my mushrooms. I'm just gonna grab this glass here. Uh-oh. I forgot which one's hot. Uh-oh. Hold on, Sonny boy. I don't want to burn myself again. I don't know why you say Sonny boy. Sonny boy. Alright, so there we go. So now that's a 2-color. These are the ones that I do for $10. And pretty much during this time, Christmas, holidays, I offer all my glass at buy one, get one free. I'll put that out there for anyone who's interested. But that one will look like this here. I'm not going to do any big advertisement on that at all. But I just kind of want y'all to know if you're paying attention and listening. But that's what that'll look like, 2 colors. You got, and that's a heavy blue on top. It's, a lot of times there's more of the butterscotch that goes through with it, but that's a really nice one as well. Now, the one that I want to show you is this style here. This one is the one that I just learned how to make for the first time in almost 30 years, since 95. I just learned this one this year, 2024. How to push the stem, build up the cap. I've even figured out how to put gills basically underneath there as well. So it's full detailed. These ones probably should go for about $40 or $50 because of the amount of work and detail in them. And I actually let them go for like 30 to 20 bucks even sometimes. I don't know why I'm so generous. I don't get it. I just want to make sure everyone can have my glass. You get one, you get one. The whole world gets one. We need to get a cell for that one. You get a cell, you get a cell. All your friends get a cell. Go sit down in your cell. All right, so in order to make that one, I'm going to need 2 pieces of glass. So that'll require here, let me just grab one of these ones. Okay, that'll work. So we'll just clean that off with the Norwex OptiCloth. These are good for your glasses, for your iPads, your laptops, your cell phones, screens. The OptiCloth is an amazing cleaner. Gets rid of fingerprints and everything with the breeze. Not the breeze, but with the breeze. Or with the ease. Okay, so in order to make this, there's some crazy tricks of the trade here. So any glass blower who's watching this is getting a free lesson on how to make this. This would normally cost a good pretty penny to sit here with me and learn how to do this. I'd probably charge $200 to sit with the glass blower and to really hone in on the skill of figuring out how to make this here. All right, do we have everything we need? We got any black and white? Oh, that could maybe work. Huh. There's a red. Okay, so this one's ready and rounded. All right, this one here, I don't know if it's gonna pop or crack on me or anything. I'm gonna just put it into the kiln or into the flame here. We might lose some of this glass here. I'm gonna do my best to bounce it in and out of the flame and introduce that heat to it. Try not to crack it and pop it. We're gonna twist this. This is gonna become the gills for underneath the mushrooms. The colors that I need, basically, like a dark cobalt with the butterscotch here. It could be caramel, actually. This might be caramel, or that is butterscotch. All right, and then all right, so right now what I'm doing is I'm giving it a super, super, super tight spin, getting these colors to really spiral out around each other, and nice and small as well. All right, so we got that for another time. We'll save that for later. Now we got this little tiny piece right there. A little bit of spirally in there. That might work. All right, so now, here comes the trick. Instead of pushing this in and creating the mushroom, like you've seen, I'm going to not form the mushroom purposely. We're going to just push it in so it becomes a stem. So it's the same thing, but I'm not going to allow it to mushroom. I'm going to have full control of it and not allow it to do that. And being that you didn't pay $200, I'm not going to tell you that trick. But there's little tricks here and there on how to do things like that. All right, and then I got to do this in a very special way to make this happen right. Which, if you paid the tutorial, then you would get the full detail on what I'm doing here. But if you can pick up from just watching, you'll be able to do this. All right, now the gills have been laid down. And then we'll see if we can even get the detail to come through from the other side. All right, now we need red. I'm gonna have to take off all this spiral here. I need this red here. I'll try to save this here somewhere on my desk. We'll just put this over here with these other stringers and stuff. All right, now here comes the next trick on making the mushroom cap. Uh-oh, my audio died. Now it's back, now it's gone, now it's back. Now it's back, okay. I'm still here. It's good now. Good. Okay. Awesome. I'm like, no. Oh, yay. All right. So now we got the gills in there. Now the trick is to put the mushroom cap on top right here. And get this to engulf those gills just perfectly right there. All right, there we go. And I put that red on top. So what I'm doing is I'm building it from the bottom up, from the stem, and then working my way up. Got the gills, then the cap on top of that. Then we got to add the dots on top of that. And we don't need that much red. I'm going to take a lot of that away. Make sure it doesn't get wasted. Put it all back right into the rod here. Yeah, and the trick is these don't have to be too big because it's going to get amplified or, sorry, magnified from the clear glass, because now we're going to encase this, push this into clear glass, or basically make it look like it's inside a clear glass. And keep it, engulf it, push it, however you want to look at it. We're going to make sure it gets inside a clear glass here now. But before we do that, it needs its distinct white dots. So this here is, we have the psilocybin, and then you have the cubensis, I believe, right? Or is this a different one? Amanita. That's what they are. And so these little rascals, you'll find like up by Oregon, Washington, up in those regions. And then just a bunch of little, tiny dots. I don't know if you see how tiny that really is there. But yeah, bunch of little tiny baby dots. So this is something that it's taken me 30 years to finally learn how to do this and figure it out. I've always wondered, how do you do that? And voila, I figured it out. All right, so now I'm going to bring this all kind of down and into as one, making sure the clear glass and that cap all flow. There isn't kind of no indentation or anything there. We've basically made the shaping of it and everything how it's supposed to be. I'm not happy with the stem. The stem's a little crooked, but when I lay it down, I'll be able to lay it straight to where it'll look okay. But when I'm spinning it, I don't know if you can see that, it's like kind of crooked and lopsided. Spins around. But that's because when I pushed it in, it wasn't straight. I was thinking I should probably redo it. I decided, never mind, let's just continue on. It's a tutorial. Anyways, let's just make this happen. Because mistakes happen all the time. All right, hopefully you can hear me still. Audio is good, I believe. Thank you for letting me know. I don't know what happened with the audio. I do not have a microphone plugged in at all. I don't know if I said something. Did I say something wrong? Like I try to watch my P's and Q's. All right, so now I'm gonna keep this bad boy all nice and warm in the back there. So I don't know if you can see how it's built up like that, but that's the trick right there. And then we force this into clear glass and call it a day. So this is how I make them super clean compared to the other guys. They're basically like they layer it, starting with like the stem, then adding clear glass on top of it, like stringers of glass, drawing them down vertically on top of it. So this is the best way that I've ever seen for any sort of online tutorial. I've seen so many others, and I figured out my own way. This is my style. This is the Gardenia glass way. If you ever see anyone else do this way, that probably means that they probably watched me do it. Unless they came up with it on their own, because I also know once you have the ideas out in the ether, it just works like that. So now I'm heating this up so this glass can attach without having any sort of like air bubble or anything in between. We're going to make them really, really set to each other, basically fuse to each other. We're going to get this super molten hot. We're going to stick it right in the center, push it directly above it to where we get that all the way over, fully encased. We're going to use our pad here and force that clear glass down. Bam, just like that. And now we're going to cut off the bottom stem here, and we're just going to start melting it all as one. So now that mushroom cap is in there. Like I said, I wasn't too happy with the stem and how crooked it looked, but we'll be able to line it up to where whoever's wearing it, no one will be able to tell that it's got a crooked stem at all. And see, these are those things that, like, as an artist, I can figure out these imperfections. If you saw this, you would never even know what I'm talking about. You'd be like, "What? I don't get it," because it's not really that big of a deal. That's the thing. To me, I'm a perfectionist, so I'm like, yeah, I wasn't so happy with that. Anyone else, you won't even be able to tell if there was any sort of difference or anything like that. So now I'm simply just going to gather this. I don't know if I need all that clear glass on there. I probably can scrap all that. Probably get rid of that much of it, actually. It's amazing how much glass we tend to scrap. You know, I do my best not to scrap too much. But yeah, we scrap a lot of glass. A lot of people ask, can he melt it down? Can he turn it into this or that? And technically you can, but it will have imperfections and impurities because of the dust, the dirt, the debris flying around in the room and just falling into your glass jar over time. And air bubbles for sure, because then it's not going to all melt and fuse together nice and smooth. All right, so now this is the trick. I'm getting this tip where the stem is all molten, and where I push that clear glass over the cap. I don't know if you can see that, but there's like a really, really prominent ridge, and we got to get rid of that ridge now. We got to melt these two together and make them look like they were never two pieces of glass and always just one piece of glass. So now we're just going to fuse them together. We're going to move that glass down. I'm going to get the clear glass that's molten. Get the clear glass that's around the cap molten, and then use gravity to try to help let it just fall down to that lower section, and it's just going to get rid of that seam nice and perfect, and pretty soon you won't even be able to tell the difference here. So now that ridge is rounding out. There's still quite a prominent difference of ridge there, smaller on the tip than the bottom, but I'll just keep on melting this like this, and it's going to all come together as one hair. And I don't know how fast I made this. I did not check the timer here. But these are a lot longer than the regular ones. That's why these are more expensive. And being that this is a very new technique, a new style, and not too many artists know about, you know, unless they watch this tutorial and they start busting these out, there's not too many individuals who can make these with the gills on the bottom and doing the dots and everything on them like I am. All right, now that ridge line is completely gone, guys. Now I'm just melting it, getting it nice and shaped into a good rounded, like teardrop shape there on the bottom. And now there's no ridge, as you can see, at all. And then we just punch it, pull a loop, and we call it a day. All right, so I'm going to let you guys go now. I'm going to take a break because it's already been an hour and 6 minutes here. I don't know how long that one took, but I'm going to take a little break. I'm going to get me something to eat, that whole all-you-can-eat buffet diet that I'm on. Although I don't have a buffet. But maybe I can find something good to eat. I'm going to just make tamales every day. Instead of tacos, we're going to do Tamale Tuesday, huh? How about that? But give me a second before you go. I want to show you how this looks because it's going to come out real nice here. Just going to finish up the loop here. And this one will be available for probably $30. Like, I don't know which side to choose. They all look good. Like, which one's going to be the front? Oh, well, we chose it. There it is. Like, maybe I should have chose the other side. I don't know. Oh, that looks cool. It don't matter. Either way, this one looks awesome. Okay. I'm going to show you this one here in just a second before I pop it off. Oh yeah, this one came out real nice, guys. I'm sorry, like I have to always I gotta be honest. Sometimes I really just impress myself, and this one came out really nice. And that one was smooth. You know, remembering the steps. This is a new one here, guys, for me. So being able to remember those steps and do it smoothly like that. Oh my gosh, that was the first one. Imagine if I just got in a routine of making 5 or 10 of these real quick right there. All right, so let me show you how this looks. That's the front. That's the front I chose. I'm thinking I maybe should have chose the other side, but this looks awesome just like that. Right? So you spin it around. There's some bigger dots right there. That's why I'm like, oh, maybe that should have been the front. There's a little empty space though, but it all looks good, right? I was like, oh, it looks good. All of it looks good, the whole thing. But yeah, that's the front. That's the way it's going to hang right there. So when you see it from the side, you'll see it in all those angles too. The only problem, oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that right now. These normally need to be put in the kiln right away. I did not turn my kiln on. It's possible that this thing does not survive. So I cannot offer it up for sale until we know that this survives, guys. Just so you know. I'm going to do my best to hand anneal it. I'm going to get the whole thing back up to temperature so then it can just all cool at the same rate. So we don't have like one side that's too hot while the other side is too cold. We'll just get it all hot, all to be that same rate again. All right, there we go. Nice and glowing, that whole thing. Thank you so much. That came out nice, huh? Like I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I'm like, that's a good one right there. I don't know what kind of horn that was. Those were like one of those. I was thinking like one of those bike horns, but those are more like the. All right, that was fun. That was a good session. I gotta admit, that was a good session right there. Got quite a bit done for the day. 10, 20. if I made 5 more, I'd be halfway done. Oh, that one has to be kilned, but the others also are kilned as well. But these ones are smaller. They can withstand the stress of the cooling compared to this one having all those layers on top of layers of glass. You really want to, and there could be air bubbles trapped in there as well. Oh my gosh, and the gills underneath look awesome. I don't know if you guys will be able to see that in the camera or not. But yeah, it could crack just because of the, oh yeah, you could see that little bit of spirally in there. There's some gills up under that mushroom there. Woo-hoo-hoo. I love that. I love the way that one came out. That one came out nice. I like it. Yeah, so it's just the layers, that's all. And so I can let this, like, hand anneal it like this and then leave it on the table. And then we just drop it all in the kiln. We fire it all at once and then have it all available. So, like, when I was here doing a lot of the jellyfish, those go directly in the kiln. So the kiln was on. I was planning to just do $5 mushrooms. It's a way to save money. I don't have to run the kiln all day. I just turn it on from cold, bring it up to temperature, and then shut it down instead of letting it run while I'm working still. So I've got these little tricks here and there. But thank you for keeping me company today, Scooby-Doo. I really appreciate it. Like I said, hopefully I'll be getting those out today. If not today, tomorrow. Because I have the day off tomorrow too, I believe. So let's see if I can get out. It's only 1:30 right now, so I got like 3 hours still. I just got to get on the internet or on the emails, check for the addresses. I believe I've already confirmed with you your address and everything, so hopefully that's all correct. And yeah, that's about it. Other than that, I hope you guys have a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day here. This is my normal view all the time, looking at the peacock. For me, represents Krishna. This is my office view, looking out at the beautiful blue sky. There's no lines in the sky today. So, I don't know, I don't know. We don't have any weather coming in anytime soon. Nothing like that. So it's a nice day. It looks beautiful. It's a little bit chilly, but also not too cold. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get yours out, Dawson's, and I think there's one more here that's ready to go. So hopefully I'll get 3 packages out today, and we'll get more out soon. Thanks for watching. Those of you who tuned in later, thank you for watching. Thank you for making it to the end here. Be sure to hit that like button if you want to see this some more, or actually hit the subscribe button if you want to see this some more. Just hit that like button if you like it. It helps my algorithms, helps to get it out here. 22 Fahrenheit. It's cold there. It's got to be like, I'd say 50s, 60s here. 60s, not 70s. 50s, 60s. My kiln fire is at 1080, so it gets warm in here when I have the kiln on. All right, just wanted to do a quick dab. I'm out. You guys have a beautiful day. Love and blessings. I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.